All right, let's talk about a simple but really powerful truth in advertising. What if we just stopped guessing who people are and instead started paying attention to where they actually go? Today, we're going to dive into how to build audiences based on real-world behavior, not just, demographic guesswork.
You know that feeling, right? You see an ad that is so completely off. You just have to wonder, how on earth did they come up with that for me? Well, there's a really good reason for it. And it gets to the heart of a huge problem in how a lot of advertising still works.
For a long time, advertising has pretty much been a giant guessing game. So let's start there. Let's break down the big problem with that traditional approach to ad targeting.
Yeah, this really sums up the old world perfectly. Marketers lean on these proxies, these static data points like your age, your gender, maybe where you live. But here's the kicker. None of that actually proves you're interested in buying something. It's all just an approximation, an educated guess at best. It is absolutely not evidence of what you're doing right now.
Okay, so if demographics are just a guess, where do we find the truth? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It's in our movement. Our real-world behavior, where we physically go, tells a much more accurate story about what we actually care about.
And this flips the entire script. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. The most important question for a marketer to ask isn't who are you in some kind of demographic profile. No, it's where do you actually go? Because, actions speak way louder than words or data profiles.
And those actions, they translate directly into intent. I mean, visiting a retail store, that's a huge signal you're thinking about buying. Visiting a competitor store, that shows you're in the market, shopping around. And repeat behavior? Oh, that's the holy grail. That shows loyalty, it shows habit. These are powerful, undeniable signals.
All right, so this all sounds great in theory, but how does a trip to the mall actually become a piece of digital insight that an advertiser can use? Let's follow the breadcrumbs. Let's trace the path from the pavement to the platform.
It's actually way more straightforward than you might think. It really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you just go about your day, visiting stores, cafes, wherever. Second, with your consent, apps on your phone generate these anonymous location signals. And third, those signals get analyzed to build audiences based on those real-world behaviors. That's it.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. The privacy alarm bells are going off, right? That's a super important point. And this is where something called a MAID, a mobile advertising ID, comes into play. It's a completely anonymous identifier. There are no names, no emails, no personal data attached to it. And the best part? You can reset it anytime. It's the key bit of tech that makes this whole thing work while respecting privacy.
So let's just recap that whole journey real quick. The input is just people moving around in the real world. The process uses anonymous signals from our devices. And the output? It's pure marketing gold, meaning that's pulled from analyzing how often you visit a place, how long you stay there, and what kind of place it is. And what this all adds up to is a completely different way of thinking. It means we can target behavior, not biography. The focus completely shifts to what people do, not who we assume they are based on some spreadsheet.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Instead of some vague target like females 25 to 40 living in Sydney, you can create an audience of people who regularly shop at major supermarkets. See the difference? One is a total guess. The other is a fact. The level of precision is just enormous.
From there, you can build these really cool, incredibly accurate digital personas that are based on actual habits. You can find premium retail browsers by seeing who hangs out in luxury shopping areas. Or you can find value-driven shoppers who go to discount outlets all the time. These are audiences built on truth.
And just imagine the strategic advantage here. A brand can literally target people who are actively shopping at their competitors' stores. You're not just shouting into the void anymore. You're speaking directly to someone who has proven they're interested in what you sell. That's a game changer.
So what's the payoff? Where does all this lead? What are the actual results when you do this? Well, this is where we see that in the modern world of advertising, relevance is the new reach.
And the proof is in the pudding. We're talking a 7.5% or even higher click-through rate. Now, why is that number so huge? It's simple, really. It's because the ads are actually relevant. When you show an ad to someone who has already shown you they're interested through their actions, they're just way more likely to click. It just makes sense.
And the benefits just keep coming. Higher relevance means you get a lower cost per click. It means you stop wasting money on people who were never going to be interested in the first place. And it means your campaigns get smarter way faster. It's just efficiency across the board.
Look, if you take just one thing away from all of this,
Let it be this idea right here. This approach lets brands reach people who are already behaving like their customers. You stop searching for customers and you start finding them right where they are.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time an ad pops up on your screen, ask yourself, is this based on some vague guess about who I am? Or is it based on the simple, powerful truth of where I've actually been? Because as we've just seen, that difference is everything. Thanks for joining me.